Welcome to the dark, witches. And it is day 20 of the 31 Days of Witchcraft Challenge. My name is Autumn. Won't you join me in the dark? It's getting funnier every time I say it. Today's question is something that we've all have struggled with, and anyone who says that they haven't, I don't know. I don't, because I think we've all struggled with the funk trademark. Yeah. The witchy funk. For many of us, it happens at different times of year. Obviously, it's easy to stay in the mood during the big ones, Samhain, Yule, Beltane, even Imbolc, and spring, in the middle of all that. Ostara. For some people, it is harder. Okay, I should rephrase that. For people like me, it is harder to. Actually, the only one I seem to have a problem with sometimes, but I've gotten better about it lately, is the summer solstice. Because from summer solstice, we lead into the harvest seasons. And even though it's still screaming hot here, I can still get behind it. Once I got into my head that summer solstice here, means the official beginning of summer, and the beginning of you cannot walk outside in bare feet, or water will not be cold out of the tap again until October. I've gotten to the point where I remind myself, hey, you know what? Every day gets a little bit darker. And then I can start to see that. That helps me with sometimes that funk that I get. Sometimes that funk is around Samhain and Beltane when the veil is thin and you really miss those who have gone before you. Or things like right now with this quarantine, and those of us who, it's our choice to not go to events or be with people. If we want to, if we feel that need for connection, we can't. Not yet. Not safely. So, what does one do, Autumn, when one experiences the funk? Well, for me, sometimes what helps clear away the cobwebs or pull me out of the weeds, or whichever euphemism you want to use, is just simply the night sky and the moon and whatever phase she happens to be in. I'll feel that. I've heard it called as a fizz. I'll feel that fizz, that, the hair beginning to stand up on the back of your neck, or that feeling of, yes. A windy night sometimes will do it for me. Just feeling the awesomeness of that element. And it's cooling, and it's just, that can do it. Sometimes I need to listen to some music. I have a couple of go-tos, and I will put links in the description box because I cannot remember properly you know what, I can look it up. Okay, I definitely listen to Inkubus Sukkubus, Celia, and SJ Thomspon. Yes, I believe that's the name. If I'm wrong, I apologize profusely, but the proper link will be in my description box. There's the old standbys. I can do some Stevie Nicks, some Fleetwood Mac, the soundtrack, oh my goodness. The soundtrack to The Craft always works for me. Even as simple as How Soon Is Now by the Smiths. If Morrissey only knew what he done with that song, and how many of us actually know that when he says, I am the air, it's H-E-I-R? But you know what? It doesn't matter, because that song will still get me there. And since I listen to Sirius XM First Wave Channel, I hear that song a lot, and it really does pull me back a little bit sometimes. If music isn't doing it all the way, sometimes a TV show, as mindless as it can be, watching something like Charmed, the old school, or even the new ones. I've been enjoying the new ones. Motherland, Fort Salem is a new thing on Freeform. It's actually really good. When I watched the first episode, I actually got very emotional because of the concept that basically the army is witches, all female witches. And it was conscription day. And just the honor and reverence that everybody gave to these young women because they were witches just made me go, oh, not the army part, but just the respect that every other religion is afforded. That they were, the best is there's a scene where the one girl is going to get on a plane and the plane is overbooked and she holds up her conscription medallion that she got. And the lady's like, oh, wait, let us put out an announcement. I'm sure someone will be willing to give up their seat for you. And the people behind said, we'll give up our seat. It's the least we can do for someone who, she's a witch. And I was like, oh my God, that really, really, really made me wish that was kind of not the army thing, but just the reverence thing. But anyway, so yes, Charmed, old school, new school, Motherland, watching The Craft, watching The Mists of Avalon, reading The Mists of Avalon, even The Good Witch as poppy, I guess you could call it, as it is. I still enjoy it. I think it's on Hallmark. Things like that can help bring me back. If I can get myself into a book, that'll work. Sometimes even just coming into this room, now that I've gotten past this is the room where I have lost a few of my feline babies, and back into this is a sacred space. Even more so now because of that, because this was a transition space. And I finally gotten to there in my mind that I can begin to work better in here. So that's it for now, witches. How do you deal with the funk? Do you recognize a pattern in when it happens? I am interested to see everyone's response. So until next time, witches, stay safe and blessed be.